There's a feeling that you get when you just don't trust yourself anymore. You're second guessing yourself because of past decisions that you've made, things that you've been through. I get it. I've been there. So self trust is one of the things that was definitely a big part in my healing process. It definitely was something that I had to pay attention to. And sometimes I didn't even realize that I was doubting myself. So if you're watching this right now, you stop because, that got your attention. And I feel you. I feel the betrayal that you felt and how that impacts the decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis. Like, for instance, even like with relationships, if you were betrayed in a relationship, then you find yourself no longer trusting that you can make a good decision about the next person that you encounter and the next relationship that you are in. And that is so valid. It is so valid. So I know for me, I realized that I wasn't trusting myself and my inner voice because I started inundating myself with so much information. I'm getting information from here. I'm going to a therapist and I'm getting what they're saying. I'm looking at YouTube and I'm getting what they're saying. And I'm listening to friends and family and I'm hearing what they say, and just on and on, the noise, right? And not that any of that is wrong, but at some point, you have to trust what you say. You have to trust what you feel deep down inside is the right decision for you. And that's hard to do sometimes when your voice has been silenced or you've made decisions that didn't come out the way you thought and ended up hurting you. And that was me, especially with relationships, having chosen relationships that did not serve me well or did not feel well or felt like betrayal or deep pain and hurt got me to a place that I started thinking, well, can I pick the right person? Can I do this? And it expanded more than just that. It expanded into my day-to-day decisions. So I'll go ahead and put it out there. According to my zodiac or whatever, I can be indecisive. And what I found out is that actually can be true. And it's even worse because of some of the trauma that I've been through. So making decisions based on what I know deep down inside is right was hard. And one of the things about that is because I am highly intuitive. That is one of my gifts and it's a beautiful thing. I was suppressing that because I was not trusting myself. So when things would come up and say no or yes, I was like, is that me? Should I do it or should I? And I was second guessing myself. So if you find yourself in these kind of situations, know that you are not alone. This is something I still deal with, just at a different level. There are some things now that I definitely trust myself with, and I feel it in my gut. And that came from developing a relationship with myself that I began to trust myself again. And I began to take the risk. Like, if I feel like I should go this way and not that way, I'm going the way I feel like I should go. And I'm trusting that. So it sounds like it's something simple, but it's one of those little bitty things that you can do, or I did, to help build my trust. And then I realized, oh, going this way was great. I'm like, oh, I knew that. Or making this decision, oh, I knew this. Or talking to this person and not talking to that person to get information, and it came out that was the right thing. And that's how I started rebuilding my trust. But it did come with building an intimate relationship with myself and starting to know myself and starting to peel away layers of trauma. Because when we have those layers on us, we are trauma informed. Our decision making is coming from a place of fear and protection and not a love. And that makes a difference in how we make decisions. So that was like the first thing is, that self-love journey, that healing journey, seeing the people I needed to see to get that help, to help peel back those traumas that were causing me to make certain decisions and then causing me not to trust myself as a result. So when I did that, then I was able to do a little better with trusting myself. And again, it's something I practice every day. So I will give you a couple of tips of things I do and I've done to help rebuild trust in myself. First of all, keeping small promises to myself. So if I say I am going to go for a walk in the park during my lunch break because that's something I enjoy and I know it helps get me grounded and it helps me take on the rest of my day better, and I don't do it, I don't follow through with my own promises, then that's letting myself down. So I make sure even something as simple as that, I make time for and I follow through with it. Another big thing is creating a sacred space, a quiet space that you can just sit and listen. Now, this could be different for everyone. For me, my bedroom, yes. In my home, it's my bedroom, it's a shower time, it's bath time. Those are spaces and times that I sit and I can just listen. Or sitting on my back porch and just sitting in nature. Those are simple. Now, I have other things as well, but those are the simple things that are right at my fingertips that I can do to have a moment to sit in sacred silence and listen to myself. What am I saying to myself? What voices are coming up? And learning to differentiate those from what's coming out of love. And oh, maybe some healing is needed there, and I need to go down that route. However, either way, I know I am beginning to trust and listen to myself. Stop outsourcing every decision. Okay, so we have a world of the internet, and it gives you a vast amount of information. And the amount of people I hear getting this information for things like AI and those types of stuff is growing big time, and which is good. I am not knocking technology. It has its uses, but what we have to understand is, like I said earlier, that we can gather information, but we have to be able to trust what we are saying to ourselves. We cannot rely on everybody else. YouTube, which I'm on YouTube and I love it and I use YouTube effectively now, and I get information, but I know, what am I going to do with this information? Because I'm the type of person, I can hear one thing and I'm like, ooh, I want to know more about that. So I go down that rabbit hole. I hear something else, I want to know a little bit more about that. And I have to pull back sometimes and wait. What is it that I'm needing to hear right now? I need to have a filter for myself. So I can't outsource every decision. I can get information to help inform decisions, but ultimately I need to trust myself to make the right decision that's right for me. Because other people's perspectives are great, but my perspective and how it applies to my life is important. Your perspective and how it applies to your life is important. Reflection is always a beautiful thing. So one thing we can tend to do is look back on things and decisions that we made that may have not been favorable for us, and we can regret them. And I want you to next time you find yourself regretting a decision that you made, I want you to reflect on that instead. And that reflection could look like, instead of saying, I regret that I ever went out with this person, this guy or this girl, whatever, instead say, okay, I'm going to reflect on that interaction. What in that relationship that I learned from it? Even with the pain that came out of it, what did I learn from it? What was that relationship there to teach me? What was that person placed in my life to teach me? What did I do to call it in, and why did I do it? And that gives you a different perspective on things. You're not looking at it as a regret. Oh, I just regret that, because that brings up a different type of emotion. It's a different frequency than reflection. I know it happened. I'm reflecting on it only because I am pulling out the things that are useful for me going forth. And celebrate. Y'all, celebrate. When you follow through on listening to yourself and trusting that intuition, celebrate yourself. When I do little things, like just today, for instance, I had a situation come up and it had me a little anxious, a little unnerved. Is that a good word? Out of my norm. it had my anxiety levels a little high. And I usually stay pretty calm and collected through most stuff, but this had me a little bit out of sorts. And I need to make decisions. I couldn't just sit there and go, oh my gosh, I don't want to think about this. I don't want to do it. I had to make decisions. So I had to say, okay, what are you going to do? And what I needed to do was not comfortable for me. It involved me having to transact money that I was not comfortable with doing, but I needed to make a decision. So I sat with myself for a moment, listen, God, just go do it. You know you need to do it. Trust yourself. It's all going to work out. And I did it. And I promise you, and this is not the only time this kind of things happen to me. Within the hour, I got a phone call that pretty much replaced all that money that I was sitting there thinking about. We'll go into that a little deeper. And that might not be the story every time, but I celebrate that. I was grateful. I expressed gratitude. I was thankful. But I also celebrated me for stopping the overthinking and making a decision and trusting myself to know what's right for me. And if it did not work out, it's okay. I still want to celebrate the fact that I took the time to listen and I acted on what I need to act on. So if trust is something that you struggle with, I hope these tips helped you. Feel free to drop some notes in the comment section. And if you need support, my community, Empower Her Within, these are things that we offer support on, learning how to trust ourselves, dropping into our intuition that is innately there, and especially in our femininity, having that and being able to trust it and using it as a superpower, because that is exactly what it is. So I would love to hear from you. I hope this video served you and that you come out finding at least one way to reconnect with yourself and learn to trust yourself again. Thank you so much. And if you've gotten this far, please hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. And I am eternally grateful for that. Until next time, bye-bye.